Alright guys, we gotta talk about a game that I've been really excited about up until yesterday, Godfall. Godfall's the new looter slasher by Gearbox Games. It's got some RPG mechanics. It's 1 to 3 players. It is a finite game, meaning it's not a game as a service, and honestly, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know a little bit about it. So I just want to say, before I shit all over this new trailer, I just want to point out that there is more to be revealed before launch, and ideally, Gearbox will listen to the community who I understand mostly have the same opinions that I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the trailer. It's broken down into parts. I'll pause at the end of a section. I'll give you my thoughts, and we'll play the next section, and we'll just go from there like that. Oh, by the way, I'm Blue Monkey. Like the video if you like it, and subscribe if you want to see more. But, yeah, let's just get into it.
So let's jump right into what Godfall is. Godfall is a looter slasher that features intense action, satisfying moment-to-moment combat, and robust loot progression systems. You can enjoy the game at your own pace, playing alone, or through online co-op with up to 2 additional teammates. Godfall is set in a brand new high fantasy universe filled with heroic knights, arcane magic, and forbidden realms. The world is split up into the elemental realms of earth, water, air, and fire. Godfall is a complete package. All loot and gear in the game are acquired or unlocked through gameplay. There are no microtransactions, no waiting for content. It's all in the game on day one. As you adventure, you'll get to tear through enemies to challenge a mad god who awaits you at the top. You play a Valorian knight, a godlike warrior able to equip valor plates, legendary armor sets that transform you into an unstoppable master of melee combat. Throughout your journey, you'll find ancient valor plates lost in time, each with their own characteristics and long history.
Okay. First thing I see is the world building seems really cool. I like the whole earth, water, wind, and fire concept. But honestly, what I hear here is a bunch of empty hype. No shit, there's no microtransactions. It's not a game as a service. Microtransactions in games as services is totally fine. For example, Destiny 2. I remember Luke Smith saying something about how the skin sales microtransactions for the Whisper of the Worm actually funded the entire development of the Outbreak Prime mission. And I'm not saying that companies don't take advantage of microtransactions. There should be no pay-to-win mechanics, but I have nothing against selling skins, selling armor, selling cosmetic items. If it doesn't affect your ability to succeed, it's totally fine, and it's just another way for the company to continue to generate revenue, and we want these companies to generate revenue, guys, but here's the thing. This is a single-player, finite game. Okay, sure, it's co-op. It's not a game as a service. It's got a beginning, it's got an end, it's got a certain amount of loot. If there was microtransactions in this game, they would have no choice but to release it as a free-to-play game. And on that note, again, no shit, we shouldn't have to wait for new content. It's a single-player game. Imagine if Horizon Zero Dawn came out and they just cut the story off halfway through. On a serious note, though, I am worried about how deep the loot system can really be without any armor looting. Because as we know, the Valor plates are unlocked and not looted. So are we just going to be looting weapons? Weapons and mods, is that going to be it? I don't know. I understand that they're classifying this as a slasher, but I was just really under the impression by the way they're hyping it and by the way they're describing it that it was going to be a lot deeper as far as the RPG mechanics go. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Let's keep going. The Valor plates are really cool, though.
Now let's talk about gameplay in Godfall. First, our team wanted to do something different. We wanted to combine action RPG loot progression with third-person melee combat to create what we think is a looter slasher. Our game is therefore one part gear-driven and one part player skill-driven. In other words, not only do we want you to find exquisite weapons with powerful loot traits, we also want you to have that feeling of accomplishment for mastering the wide set of combat mechanics available to you in Godfall. From a combat philosophy perspective, the melee combat in Godfall is intended to be fluid, dynamic, and interactive, embracing offense over defense. More often than not, you'll be facing multiple enemies at the same time. As a result, you should always be moving and closing the gap on enemies. Also, you dominate the combat space, not the enemies, and the game rewards you for being aggressive.
Okay, I don't want this video to go on forever, so I'm going to try to summarize these parts up a little bit quicker. First thing, one part gear driven, one part player skill driven. That's amazing. I love it. Secondly, wide set of combat mechanics. Yeah, didn't see that. Didn't see that at all. Embracing offense over defense as a concept is totally fine. We've seen this in many games. Darksiders, the old God of War games, Devil May Cry. But what made that mindset successful was the wide array of abilities and fast-paced nature of the combat. If you notice, all the combat basically seemed like 4 basic attack strings of light attacks the whole time, and it's very slow-paced. If you didn't catch that, let's go ahead and watch the next section here.
Now that you're familiar with the combat philosophy, let's dig into the weapons themselves. In Godfall, there are 5 weapon classes.
Okay, pause. 5 weapon classes? 5. I thought there was supposed to be a wide array of mechanics. Not to say that there can't be other mechanics besides weapons, but I mean, just 5 weapons? Seems like a super limited arsenal. Like, imagine if COD only had 5 types of guns. Imagine if COD only had pistols, SMGs, ARs, snipers, and shotguns. Where's the rocket launchers? Where's the bolt-action single-shot rifles? Where's the grenades? Where's the crossbow? You know what I mean? Like, that seems super limited to me. Anyways, let's keep going.
The Longsword, the dual blades, the polearm, the two-handed warhammer, and the two-handed greatsword. Each weapon class has their own unique movesets and playstyles, ranging from fast combos to more strategic, deliberate play. As you defeat enemies in your adventures, you will acquire numerous weapons for each weapon category, each weapon with their own primary and secondary traits. At a later date, we will delve into the weapon classes and how to modify them in greater detail. For now, we'll go over the dual blades and the longsword weapon classes. The dual blades are the fastest weapon class in Godfall, embodying speed, fluidity, and mobility. The dual blades are exceptional against soft, unarmored targets or single targets. You can perform a combo by executing 4 consecutive light attacks. The dual blades heavy attack is a spinning blade cyclone.
Okay, pause. You got 1 heavy attack. What? You basically just told me that your core combat rotation is pressing square, 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 circle. Okay, sorry, I keep interrupting. I'm supposed to wait till the end of the section. Let's keep it going.
The blade cyclone can also be used as a finisher at the end of your light attack combo. So what are the signature moves for the dual blades? As you build up charge, you can also activate Inner Focus, which is unique to the dual blades, which inflicts massive damage in a short period of time. There's also Mortal Coil, where you can throw your blade into an enemy, pulling the enemy towards you, like pulling a cable.
Okay, so what I'm saying is you have 1 heavy attack and 1 special attack. The other special ability, what's it called? Inner Focus. It's just a temporary damage buff. That's not that cool, you guys. I'm sorry. It's just I really want to be hyped for this game. I really do. That's just not that cool. Not only is there a very limited amount of attack abilities, but there's not even any like light or heavy mix-ups. It has to be your heavy attack is used as a finisher or on its own. I don't see that being very engaging in the long run. I don't see that being very engaging in the long run at all. And if you notice, the enemies don't even defend themselves. They just stand there and they wait. They wait to be killed. Some of them are attacking, but none of them ever block, guard, dodge. They slowly walk towards you and you're just running them down. Which, like I said, as a concept can be good. Look at games like Devil May Cry. You've got all these different enemies and they're basically just there, but you're sitting there and the goal is to use a wide array of abilities, combine them together in specific strings, unlock new abilities to throw into those strings, and it gets really freaking complex, and then it grades you on your performance. That's cool. that's cool. At that point, you don't need enemies to be defending themselves or dodging or whatever because you're good. It's like an arcade game. This just seems unengaging, you guys. Okay, let's keep playing.
Now let's switch to the longsword weapon class. Longswords are balanced weapons, embodying crisp damage and simple cooldowns without needing a lot of elaborate combo setups.
Okay, I'm sorry. Pause. We like elaborate combo setups. It stops the game from being boring. It stops the game from being boring. Okay, keep it playing.
Similar to dual blades, longswords have their own 4-hit light attack combo. Then there's the heavy attack finisher, which can be used at the end of your light attack combo. There are 3 signature moves for the longsword class. There's Spectral Flurry, which cannot be interrupted and deals high damage to multiple nearby targets. Then there's Spiral Technique, which eviscerates all enemies in a straight fixed path. Notice there's a white flash after a longsword swing called a timing attack. If you press the shield button exactly at the same time, you'll perform a devastating shield uppercut with your longsword.
Okay, so here we see a little bit more in-depth type of combat with the longsword, which is good. But I don't know if you played God of War, you guys. You have like 20 different abilities with each different weapon, and mastering them felt good. It provided depth, it provided challenge, and ultimately it provided more fun. Run it.
The shield is a core part of Godfall. It's available to you throughout the entire game. You can always block incoming attacks with your shield. If you press the shield button at the right time, you can also parry an attack. You can perform a light attack after a last-second shield block to counterattack with a powerful shield strike. The shield is great not just for defense, but also offense. You can aim and throw your shield, which will hit multiple nearby targets. If you tap the shield button just as you catch your shield, you can perform a powerful wave attack. You can double tap the shield button to petrify enemies. And of course, you can perform an R3 ground finisher on enemies that were knocked down to the ground.
Okay, so I'm not saying that blocking, parrying, and counterattacking aren't good for a game like this, but they are basic additions to any third-person melee action game. They're selling it and hyping it up like it's something cool and new and awesome, but in reality, these mechanics have been around for years. It's like when a kid gets in trouble and he's like, "But Mom, I took out the garbage without you even asking." First of all, I shouldn't have to ask. Second of all, that's expected of you. If those mechanics weren't in this game, I don't know. Here's the thing, guys. You don't get points for doing something that's expected from you. This is not some kind of cool feature. This is a staple of the genre and it's required. All right, now let's watch this boss fight. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I hate when the developers are bad at the game that they're actually developing. I mean, maybe they're just trying to show off the boss's moves, but honestly, it looks like they're faking difficulty. And besides that, the boss fight was basically just spamming your basic attack button and spamming that one special ability. Guys, these are just opinions. Feel free to debate with me and share your thoughts with the community. I love engaging with you guys, you know that. As of now, this game looks gorgeous and compelling, but it seems to me that it is lacking in the delivery. Minute-to-minute gameplay needs to be fun. It needs to be engaging. It needs to be at least a little bit complex, especially in an RPG-style game like this. And, as of now, I can't see this game releasing with anything more than a $40 price tag. I guarantee if they sell it for 60, it's going to be one of those games that's up on the Steam store on sale after the first month for $29.99. It seems like a fun couch co-op game to play with your girlfriend, not a game to be taken seriously by any RPG, slasher, or loot fanatics. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out the videos to the right if you want to see more of my content. I'll admit it is mostly World of Warcraft content, but if you're interested, clicking on this little circle here will get you a subscription to my channel. And trust me, it's worth it. I'm going to be covering this game a little bit more, and we'll see if it turns out any better than what they gave us yesterday. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.